the Stoic method.
Have you ever felt crushed by criticism? You're not alone. Welcome, everyone. Today, we dive into a life-changing skill, mastering the art of handling criticism. Each of us, at some point, faces feedback that challenges us. But what if I told you that the ancient wisdom of Stoicism could turn these moments into powerful opportunities for personal growth? Join me as we explore 10 Stoic strategies to transform criticism from a stumbling block into a stepping stone for self-improvement. Stoicism, rooted in ancient Greece and Rome and championed by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, teaches us about the power of perception, resilience, and inner strength. Central to Stoicism is the idea that we control our thoughts, emotions, and reactions, not external events. This philosophy becomes a guiding light when navigating the murky waters of criticism. Stoicism doesn't see criticism as a personal attack, but as a chance to learn, evolve, and strengthen our character. 1. Criticism is neutral information. Embrace the Stoic view that events, including criticism, are inherently neutral. It's our interpretation that imbues them with positive or negative connotations. Try to perceive criticism as unbiased data, a mere reflection of someone's perspective, not an absolute truth. Recall instances where reinterpreting criticism positively changed its impact on you. This shift in perception can be transformative. 2. The Kernel of Truth. Within even the harshest critique lies a potential lesson. Stoicism urges us to look beyond emotional reactions and identify these kernels of truth. They are invaluable for personal growth. Reflect on your encounters with criticism. How often do you sift through harsh words to find constructive insights? This practice can turn seemingly negative experiences into valuable lessons. 3. Thoughtful response over emotional reaction. Stoicism champions a rational, composed response over a knee-jerk emotional reaction. This approach requires mindfulness and practice. When criticized, pause, breathe, and choose a thoughtful response. Think about your natural tendencies. Do you immediately react, or do you take a moment to thoughtfully process and respond? Developing this habit can significantly change the nature of your interactions. 4. A launchpad for growth. Consider criticism a launchpad for personal and professional growth. Stoicism teaches us to use every experience, especially challenging ones, as an opportunity for learning and development. Ask yourself, how can you transform criticism into a constructive tool for self-improvement? Each piece of feedback, regardless of its tone, holds a lesson to be learned. 5. Emotional balance is key. Maintaining emotional equilibrium is crucial when dealing with criticism. Stoicism isn't about ignoring feelings, but about managing them to maintain inner peace and rational thinking. Consider your strategies for keeping composure under criticism. How do you balance acknowledging your emotions while not letting them overtake your response? This skill is vital for constructive engagement with feedback. 6. Understanding the critic's intentions. Discerning the intent behind the criticism is essential. Reflect on whether the feedback is meant to be helpful or harmful. This understanding can shape your response and learning. Analyzing the critic's intentions, are they aiming to construct or to harm, helps in deciding how to process and use the feedback effectively. 7. Gratitude for constructive feedback. Appreciate the value of constructive criticism. It's a sign that someone is invested in your improvement. Expressing gratitude, even for tough feedback, fosters a positive mindset and encourages more helpful input in the future. Reflect on how you show appreciation for constructive criticism. This mindset not only aids personal growth, but also nurtures positive relationships. 8. Mastering self-control. Recognizing and controlling defensive reactions is a core Stoic practice. When faced with criticism, observe your impulses and choose a controlled response. Consider the strategies you employ to curb defensiveness. How do you manage your initial reactions to ensure they are thoughtful and constructive? Developing this self-awareness and control is key in handling criticism effectively. 9. Aligning with personal values. Use criticism as a tool to align your actions with your personal values and goals. Evaluate feedback against your principles and aspirations. Reflect on how criticism helps you stay on track or realign your path. This alignment ensures that the feedback you receive and act upon resonates with your personal and professional objectives. 10. Inner validation over external approval. Cultivate a sense of self-worth that is independent of external validation. Stoicism teaches us to find value and affirmation from within. Assess your dependency on others' approval. How much does external validation influence your sense of self? Learning to value internal validation over external approval is crucial for emotional resilience and self-reliance. Reflect on the life of Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor constantly subjected to criticism in both his public and private life. Despite his powerful position, he faced detractors and challenges like any other leader. However, instead of dismissing or retaliating against these criticisms, Aurelius used them as tools for self-reflection and improvement. His famous work, Meditations, is a testament to this practice, showcasing how he internalized feedback to enhance his virtues and leadership style. In a more modern context, consider the story of a business leader who encountered sharp criticism over his management style. Initially defensive, he found himself at a crossroads: to dismiss the feedback or to embrace it as a catalyst for change. Choosing the latter, he applied Stoic principles, dissecting the criticism and identifying actionable insights. This shift not only improved his relationships with his team, but also led to a more inclusive, innovative, and productive work environment. To wrap up, these 10 Stoic responses to criticism: viewing it as neutral, seeking truth, responding thoughtfully, using it for growth, maintaining emotional balance, reflecting on intentions, practicing gratitude, controlling defensiveness, aligning with personal values, and detaching from external validation are more than strategies. They're a roadmap to turning criticism into a tool for both personal and professional empowerment. Interested in more Stoicism and its practical applications? Subscribe for insightful content and explore the works of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus to deepen your understanding. Remember, with a Stoic mindset, criticism becomes a valuable catalyst for growth. Share your experiences with criticism in the comments below. Let's learn and grow together. Thank you for joining me on this journey to turn criticism into constructive self-improvement.
The Stoic Method.
Welcome, everyone. Have you ever found yourself drained after an interaction with a difficult person? Today, we're tackling a challenge that touches each of us: dealing with negative people. Whether it's a challenging colleague or a pessimistic friend, these interactions can leave us feeling deflated. But what if I told you that Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers timeless tools for these modern trials? In our journey today, we'll uncover 6 powerful Stoic practices to help us not just endure, but gracefully navigate through the storm of negativity. Stoicism, birthed by Zeno of Citium and later refined by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, champions a compelling idea: focus on what we can control and gracefully accept what we cannot. This philosophy becomes a lifeline in our interactions, especially with those exuding negativity. It teaches us that our response to others is our power, even when their actions are beyond our reach. Imagine harnessing this wisdom in today's fast-paced world, where challenging personalities often cross our paths. 1. Differentiating between our control and others' behaviors. It's essential to recognize the boundary between your influence and what's beyond it. Understand that people's actions and words are often the result of their own narratives and issues, which you can't control. By focusing on how you react, you maintain your inner peace and avoid the unnecessary stress of trying to change the unchangeable. Think of a time you felt upset by someone's actions. How might acknowledging your limits and controlling others have altered your emotional response and outcome? 2. Practicing empathy. Empathy is the bridge to understanding others' perspectives. When you encounter negativity, try to see the world through the other person's eyes. Often, their negative behavior stems from unseen struggles or pain. Approaching with empathy not only softens your response, but can also diffuse potential conflict, creating a space for more constructive interaction. Consider a recent challenging interaction. How might seeing the situation from the other person's viewpoint change your perception and response? 3. Setting boundaries. Boundaries are vital for emotional health, particularly with negative individuals. Clearly defining what you will and won't tolerate helps protect your mental well-being. It's not about building walls, but about respecting yourself. Communicate your boundaries assertively and calmly to ensure others understand your limits. Reflect on your interactions. Are there instances where your boundaries were crossed? How might firmly establishing them improve future interactions? 4. Responding, not reacting. There's power in pausing before responding. Reacting in the heat of the moment often escalates situations. Instead, take a moment to process and then respond with intention. This approach, championed by Stoicism, allows for a more considered and effective interaction, reducing the likelihood of regret. Recall a recent encounter where you reacted quickly. How might the outcome have differed had you taken a moment to respond thoughtfully? 5. Focusing on personal growth. Every challenging interaction is an opportunity for personal growth. Reflect on what each encounter teaches you about yourself, like your patience, tolerance, or communication skills. Use these lessons to strengthen your character and improve future interactions, turning obstacles into stepping stones for self-improvement. Think about a recent difficult conversation. What did it reveal about your strengths and areas for growth? 6. Practicing detachment. Developing a sense of detachment helps you not to take negative comments personally. Understand that others' negativity is often a reflection of their internal struggles, not a true assessment of you. By practicing detachment, you protect your self-esteem and maintain a clear perspective, focusing on facts over emotions. When last did you take a negative comment to heart? How might viewing it with detachment change your feelings about the interaction? Consider the remarkable story of Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher. Despite his power, he faced constant challenges, including betrayal and negativity from those in his court. Yet, he never allowed these external factors to disturb his inner peace. His diary, now known as Meditations, reveals his commitment to Stoicism. He consistently practiced focusing on his own actions and responses rather than attempting to control others. This approach not only helped him maintain serenity amidst chaos, but also strengthened his leadership. His reign is often remembered for its wisdom and fairness, a direct result of his Stoic practices. Let's bring Stoicism into a contemporary setting. Imagine Sarah, a team leader in a tech company, who often clashed with a colleague, Tom, known for his pessimism and harsh criticism. Initially, Sarah tried to confront and change Tom's behavior, leading to increased tension. However, after learning about Stoicism, Sarah decided to apply its principles. She started by empathizing with Tom, trying to understand his perspectives and challenges. She realized his negativity stemmed from insecurity about his job performance. With this insight, she set clear boundaries in their interactions, focusing on constructive feedback rather than reacting to his negativity. She also practiced detachment, understanding that Tom's comments were more about his issues than her abilities. Over time, this approach transformed their relationship. Tom began to respond positively to Sarah's leadership, and the previously stressful relationship evolved into a more respectful and productive one. In summary, these 6 Stoic practices, recognizing what we can and cannot control, practicing empathy, setting boundaries, choosing thoughtful responses, using interactions for personal growth, and cultivating detachment, arm us with a robust toolkit for handling negative people. By weaving these strategies into our daily interactions, we can gracefully steer through social challenges, maintaining our composure and positivity. If this journey into Stoicism and its relevance today resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe for more enlightening content. Dive deeper into the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus for more wisdom on navigating relationships and personal well-being. Remember, the essence of dealing with negativity lies in focusing on what's in our control, our actions, responses, and perspectives. Share your experiences or thoughts on applying these Stoic principles in the comments below. Let's learn and grow together in this exploration of Stoic practices for handling negative interactions. Thank you for joining me on this insightful journey.
The Stoic Method.
Today, we dive into 11 Stoic responses to common life challenges, combining insightful philosophy with actionable advice. Join me as we learn to navigate life's rough waters with the grace and resilience of a Stoic. Stoicism, birthed in the rich intellectual soil of the Hellenistic period, is more than a philosophy. It's a way of living. Thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus taught us that our response to life's events shapes our happiness, not the events themselves. This philosophy encourages virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. In our fast-paced, often chaotic world, Stoic teachings provide a reliable compass for finding balance and inner peace. 1. Facing failure with resilience. In the Stoic view, failure is not an endpoint, but a critical part of the learning process. This philosophy teaches us to embrace failure as a teacher, urging us to analyze and learn from our mistakes. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, the Stoic approach is to examine these experiences critically, identifying areas for improvement and growth. This shift in perspective is pivotal. It transforms failures into invaluable stepping stones on the path to success, fostering resilience and a growth mindset. 2. Managing anger. Through understanding, anger often arises from unmet expectations, misunderstandings, or perceived injustices. Stoicism advises us to dissect the root cause of our anger, examining it through a lens of rationality and logic. By asking ourselves whether the situation is within our control and whether we can perceive it differently, we can manage our anger more constructively. This Stoic practice not only aids in controlling our immediate reactions, but also in understanding the underlying reasons for our anger, leading to greater emotional intelligence and self-awareness. 3. Coping with loss by valuing the present. Loss is an inevitable part of the human experience, and Stoicism addresses this through the practice of memento mori, a reminder of the inevitability of death. This mindful practice encourages us to appreciate and fully engage with our current circumstances, relationships, and joys. By focusing on the present, we learn to value our experiences more deeply and find strength in the face of loss. This approach not only helps in coping with the pain of loss, but also enriches our day-to-day life by fostering a deeper appreciation for the transient nature of life's joys. 4. Dealing with stress by focusing on the present moment. Stress often results from being caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past. Stoicism, with its emphasis on living in the present, teaches us to concentrate on what we are doing right now. This focus on the present moment can significantly reduce stress levels, allowing us to tackle tasks with greater clarity and efficiency. By learning to anchor ourselves in the now, we can avoid the pitfalls of overthinking and anxiety, leading to a more peaceful and productive life. 5. Overcoming jealousy with self-contentment. Jealousy typically springs from comparing ourselves to others, leading to feelings of inadequacy or resentment. Stoicism offers a remedy by encouraging us to focus on our path and personal virtues. By cultivating self-contentment and an appreciation for our unique journey, we can mitigate feelings of jealousy. This Stoic principle teaches us to derive satisfaction from our progress and achievements, rather than measuring ourselves against others, fostering a sense of inner peace and self-acceptance. 6. Handling criticism with grace. Receiving criticism can be challenging, often triggering defensive or negative reactions. Stoicism, however, encourages us to view criticism as an opportunity for self-reflection and growth. By evaluating feedback objectively and discerning its truth and usefulness, we can use criticism constructively. This Stoic approach involves separating our emotional response from the content of the feedback, allowing us to grow and improve without feeling diminished by the criticism. 7. Confronting anxiety with rational thought. Anxiety frequently arises from irrational fears, exaggerated worries about the future, or a sense of loss of control. Stoicism counters this by promoting rational thinking and a focus on what we can control. By scrutinizing our anxious thoughts and challenging their validity, we can often diminish their power. This Stoic method encourages us to differentiate between rational concerns and unfounded worries, leading to more effective anxiety management. 8. navigating relationship conflicts with empathy. Conflicts in relationships often stem from misunderstandings, unmet expectations, or a lack of empathy. Stoicism teaches us to approach these conflicts with an empathetic mindset, striving to understand the other person's perspective. This approach involves open, honest communication and a willingness to find common ground. By applying this Stoic principle, we can transform conflicts into opportunities for deeper understanding and stronger relationships. 9. Finding motivation and purpose. Stoicism suggests that a key to sustained motivation lies in aligning our actions with our deeper values and purposes. This philosophy encourages us to find intrinsic motivation in the pursuit of personal growth and virtue. By connecting our daily tasks to our larger goals and values, we can find a more profound sense of purpose in our actions, leading to increased motivation and fulfillment. 10. Dealing with rejection by valuing inner worth. Rejection, whether in personal or professional contexts, can be a significant source of distress. Stoicism teaches us to find our worth internally, rather than relying on external validation. This perspective helps us to focus on our strengths and capabilities, understanding that rejection is often not a reflection of our intrinsic value. By grounding our self-esteem in our qualities and accomplishments, we can navigate rejection with a greater sense of resilience and self-assurance. 11. Overcoming grief with gratitude. Grief, while a natural and often intense response to loss, can be approached through the Stoic practice of gratitude. By focusing on gratitude for the experiences and time shared, we can find solace and a way to honor the value of what or who was lost. This practice not only aids in the healing process, but also helps in cherishing and celebrating the positive aspects and memories, providing a balanced perspective in times of sorrow. Reflect on these Stoic responses. How can they be applied to your daily challenges? Which of these principles resonates most with your current life situation? Can adopting a Stoic mindset change how you perceive and handle these problems? Consider the story of Marcus Aurelius, who, despite being the Roman emperor, faced personal and political challenges with Stoic composure. Or think of modern individuals who have applied Stoic principles to overcome personal struggles, finding clarity and strength in the face of adversity. In conclusion, Stoicism offers timeless wisdom that can transform how we handle everyday problems. By practicing resilience, understanding, presence, empathy, and gratitude, we can navigate life's challenges with a sense of calm and clarity. These 11 Stoic responses are not just philosophical concepts, they are practical tools for living a balanced and fulfilling life. If you're inspired to explore Stoicism further, consider subscribing for more content like this. Delve into the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus to deepen your understanding. Remember, the journey to applying Stoic wisdom starts with small, consistent steps. Thank you for joining me in exploring how Stoicism can provide powerful responses to everyday problems.